Talk shoes.
Recorded live.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Müvment Boxing Podcast, where we bring you your latest and greatest boxing news, breaking down everything, filtered, uncut, biased, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do it, breaking away from that mainstream vibe of bias shit. You know how we do it here. I'm joined by my normal co-host, as usual. We're going to start with 2K. What's good with you, fella?
What's good, man?
All right. I'm also joined by Big Cool from Colossal Boxing Talk. What's good with you, man?
What up, man? How y'all doing today?
Man, all good. Also joined by one half of the Truth and Facts About Boxing. What's good with you, Bernard?
What's good, Twine? The other half of Truth and Facts About Boxing, Bo, he's on suicide watch right now at the Gamboa house.
I figured that's why he went missing, since we got that topic coming up. But anyway, y'all ready to dive into these topics, man?
Yes, sir.
Like always.
All right, for sure. So we're gonna start with some reviews of these weekend's biggest fights, I guess. Starting off with Joseph Parker and Razvan Cojanu, his title defense in New Zealand on Saturday, his WBO heavyweight title. His first defense, mandatory. Well, it wasn't a mandatory since Fury pulled out, so it was a last-minute replacement fight. He won a 12-round unanimous decision, of course. A lot of people weren't impressed for some reason. I guess, so we'll go ahead and start off with, I guess, those who did review it or did see it. I know 2K said he didn't get to see this one. Big Cool, what about you? You get to see this one?
Yeah. I watched it. Yeah.
All right, can you break it down for us, what you saw as far as Joseph Parker and this fight and what you thought about it?
I mean, Joseph Parker, he has good hand speed. He has a good jab. I like how he works it to the midsection and up top. And he has a little dog in him on the inside. He will hit you and not allow you to hold him without any repercussions. But he's too hittable, man. And he's a little smaller on the smaller side compared to the Joshua Wilders in the series. And even his opponent he fought this past weekend, he tends to allow himself. He tends to lean in when he's in the clinch, which the guy hit him with some nice uppercuts, which if he does indeed face Joshua, that's a guaranteed knockout regardless, but especially if he does that leaning in, giving himself up to the uppercut, which is Joshua's probably his favorite punch and his best punch. And, I mean, he kind of seemed a little bigger than, usual, not in a good way, kind of like he slacked off once he found out he wasn't facing Fury. I just don't think he's a legitimate contender. I didn't think he won the Andy Ruiz fight, and I think he was just fortunate enough to, be fighting in New Zealand to get a decision, because I think he lost that fight 9-3. But he did, do what he had to do to get the victory against a guy who was pretty much there for a check. He did some okay, things in the ring. Other than he taunted Parker a lot, but Parker did what he had to do. But I don't like his chances against the top 3, top 4. Throw Ortiz in there, hell, Vladimir as well. If he steps up and faces these guys, he's too hittable. He's too small. His power is greatly overrated. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't knocked out anybody since he started stepping up in competition against Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz, or this guy. So, I mean, he has a lot to work on. I think that he's going to come up short, no pun intended, when he steps up and fight the giants of the division, which I don't think he's going to be fighting anytime soon.
All right, Bernard, did you get a chance to check this one out?
I caught it briefly. I don't want to. I'm gonna say for what it is. Whatever his opponent's name is, was tailor made for him, and his bout was technically tailor made. The only thing is, I don't want to blame it on the champion. I can see why they're blaming it on the champion, because all this guy did, this Razul guy, whatever his name is, did was pretty much hold. He was tall. He had the height advantage. He had the reach advantage. Didn't really use it. He was holding Parker, pushing his head down in the beginning of the rounds. The first half of the fight. He was slow. He wasn't really cutting out the ring. He was pretty much letting Parker hit him up. And it was pretty much, I hate to say it was similar. I ain't going to say similar. It was similar in the effect of the Canelo Chavez fight. Except for this dude did try to put up a fight, but he was doing his opponent was doing a lot of complaining. And for Parker to get the blame on it, I can see why, probably because it's like, yo, this dude isn't really getting on your level. You should have got him out of there, which I think he should have, but he just pretty much was just throwing his jab. Yeah, he dictated the pace of the fight. He was like, you know what, I'm going to do this quick, these 36 minutes and get over it. That's all he was doing, just boxing him. Like, yo, I'm practicing for Hughie Fury. That's all he was doing. It's like, dude I even pulled it up right now. We talking, just see. Dude his opponent was doing more talking. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, yo, you're if you had the opportunity to fight for a world championship, you're gonna make it a fight to earn that shot, like Andy Ruiz did. Yeah, Andy Ruiz is overweight and everything, but he made it a fight. This dude didn't make it a fight. Right? It's kind of like again. I know Twine, you gonna speak more on it, but don't blame. I can see why they blame the champion because that dude should have got him. Probably should have got the dude out of there. But also put the blame on the opponent. If you got an opportunity to fight for a championship, make it a fight because you may not even get that chance ever again.
I mean, I do agree with you, but I mean, we could have gave him a pass if he at least went out trying to get the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? And he hit whatever the guy's name with a few nice right hands that snapped his head back and got his attention, but he didn't follow up on anything. You know, he would lead with the left hook, throw a jab, throw a right hand, and just kind of follow the guy around, allow himself to be clinched, and, you know, it was just one of the, huh?
No, I say he was hitting with Parker's hitting him with the 1-2, going to the body, then the dude would then try to, he'll give him a right hook to the head, but it was like, he's not really engaging. It's more like,
yeah, he's just trying to survive. But the body shots was there, like you said. Yeah. The body shots was there for the take. He could have stopped him on body, you know, broke him down early in the fight and then stopped him late. But he didn't, I don't know, man. Maybe he was nervous because it was his first title defense. I don't know what it is, man.
Or he just, like you said earlier, he did look like he came in there a little bit heavier. And he was just like, you know what, this ain't the opponent I was in the fight, so I'm going to do what I got to do. When they made that list, when I spoke on it last week, they knew what they were doing. They picked the opponent. It was a hand-picked opponent for them. I understand the mandatory was injured. That's understandable. But of course they was not going to fight Deontay Wilder because Wilder would have got him out of there. But this was the opponent was basically to make Parker look good.
But and that still didn't happen in turn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One thing we can say about certain fighters, you know what I'm saying, when we hate their opponent, if you get him out there, we can at least say, you know what, he did what he's supposed to do. He didn't waste time. He didn't play with it or none of that. Parker didn't even do that. So when we criticize a Wilder or Canelo or whoever it is that has suspect, you know, opposition, when they get him out, they get him out. You know, they're not playing with him. They're not trying to look good or whatever. They're trying to get a guy that could potentially be dangerous due to whatever reason, cut, whatever, you know what I'm saying, happens in a fight. And Parker just, I mean, if it was a guy that was slightly better, he could have been, you know, in some trouble, you know what I'm saying, not in danger of losing, but just looking worse than what the guy could have made him look if he actually came to fight.
What did you have his score?
12-0. I mean, I couldn't see giving the guy any round, maybe one round, but like I said, it was just so repetitive. It was just, I was just watching. Watching to see what what Parker was doing. Not really trying to. I was just trying to see what did he add to his game and how he was trying to, you know, how he approached the fight. And he approached it like he approached the Ruiz fight, but the guy wasn't as good as Ruiz, so he couldn't make him look, you know, more vulnerable than, you know, normal. So I mean, it was a good fight for him, I guess.
All right. We got Bo on the line as well. Did you get a chance to check out this Joseph Parker fight this weekend? Bo.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you get a chance to check out the Joseph Parker title defense over the weekend?
Man, I won't even lie to you, man. I actually was doing something more important. I had picked up the trash out of my backyard, which is kind of equivalency to what y'all describing that was.
Yeah, because his wife told his ass to do it. You know what it is.
That's 2K? Oh, you man.
She said, out the basement and go pick up that goddamn trash right now, nigga, and smack it on the back of your chest.
2K joining us, y'all. Y'all see 2K joining us, man. Y'all see 2K. That's good. 2K joining us, man. I'm glad to see you here. You know his boy get his ass whooped over the weekend. 2K went in the hide. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't show his face up over Easter. You know what I'm thinking?
At least I can get the garbage when I feel like getting it, nigga.
I see. All our listeners out there, y'all see how it is when Daddy come on the line, all the kids just lose their damn mind because Daddy put his hand on them. They don't have to go to the doctor and put his hand on all his son. I'll tell you that right now. But I know your address, Negro. I know it. But no, you know what? I was disappointed because, and I said this on our show, man. He skipped over. He went from Hugo Fury all the way down to number 14. I knew then. And then when Bernard was giving us the list of the reasons why, like this dude, he fought. I didn't recognize no name on this dude's resume. Even the motherfuckers he lost to. I'm like, what the fuck are these motherfuckers he lost to? So, you know what I mean? It was, like they said, it was a showcase fight and you knew it. But the problem is, though, Joseph Parker, and I say, they had great division, dog. That's, you know, that step is coming off of him. So, and that's all I got to say about that, man. I mean, no disrespect to him and all the people that, no, boy, garbage.
Oh, yeah, New Zealand people ain't called both.
You know what, man? I didn't watch this fight, like y'all, everybody already knows. But I heard some bullshit recently. You know, people are defending Joseph Parker because, you know, he's the only champion from New Zealand, only heavyweight champion from New Zealand. And I've even heard people utter the dumbass statement, hey, even David Tua couldn't do it, so it means it's an excellent accolade. And it's like, hold on, man. David Tua, exactly. David Tua was in a much harder era of heavyweight than Joseph Parker. That's number one. Number two, they weren't giving away titles back then like they do today. Nigga, the way nobody can ever say anything about how Charles Martin obtained the IBF title. That was the most ridiculous fuckery I have ever seen in the heavyweight division, and that includes big fights like Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon. You see what I'm saying? That includes that. I mean, it was complete fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So the way today is orchestrated, you could be a nigga walking in out of nowhere as long as you fucking 12-0 or 13-0. You may fight for a title if you have the right connections backing you. And that's exactly what we see with fucking Joseph Parker, and that's what we saw with Charles Martin. So him being the first heavyweight titleist from New Zealand, it's not because he actually earned that right. Actually, he probably lost to fucking Andy Ruiz. You see what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers are saying he lost to Andy Ruiz. So it's not necessarily that he's actually skillful enough to the point where he got that right. You know what I'm saying? We can't put Joseph Parker in the 90s and say, yeah, that nigga would have been a champion. No, that nigga would have been a champion.
He wasn't even a contender, bro.
He'd have been a journeyman. Niggas would have been running through, hey, nigga, you want that nigga? Hey, let me get some of that stuff too, my nigga. That's what it would have been like in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So people need to stop the dick riding, dog. The dick riding kills me. They got to stop the dick riding. They need to actually learn how to better assess these fighters' abilities so they can make a better argument for the fighter that they actually like. And when they do that, they'll learn how to come down to earth and be like, you know what, I like this nigga, but he's not really that good. And that's what I had to do. I'll use myself as an example. I had to do that with Jeff Lacey back in the early 2000s. I thought Jeff Lacey was the shit. And then I realized that I needed to learn how to make better assessments.
A lot of people thought he was going to be the goods.
I know. I realized I had to make better assessments, and when I did that, when I learned how to analyze a fighter's style and say, okay, he's good at this, he's good at that, that's when I realized Jeff Lacey's trash, and that was before the Calzaghe fight. So, come on, man. That was when he fought Sid Vanderpool. That's when I was like, yeah, this nigga whack.
No, here's
they giving out titles like Tim H. You give out jobs.
Check this out, the 2K point, right? Let's look at the crop of heavyweights Joseph Parker deal with. Andy Ruiz, Joshua Wilder, maybe Kubler. Okay, now let's look at the motherfuckers that David Tua had to deal with. Lennox fucking Lewis, Mike goddamn Tyson, Riddick motherfucking Bowe. The only cat he would have beaten, because he did beat him, was John Ruiz. And when John Ruiz captured the title, they didn't put David Tua nowhere in the fucking rankings for that fight.
Yeah.
Oh man, Joseph Parker's just not good, man. Simple as that. He's just not good. Somebody gonna snap the title off of him soon.
I mean, I don't think it's a thing of him not being good. I just think it's a thing of him being small in this class and lacking the power to even compete with a lot of these guys. Especially dealing with this guy. I watched the fight and was paying attention to a lot of things as far as the backstory. This guy was brought in on 12 days' notice. As you know, because of the Hughie Fury injury. This is actually a guy that had been a sparring partner of Joseph Parker's in the past. So, I mean...
no wonder he fought like he fought.
Yeah, so there was some slight familiarity, with each other because of that shit there, them working together in the past. But at the same time, I see a lot of criticism because people are like, this guy should have been in the ring with him, which he shouldn't have. And he should have been put, knocked out, at the same time. So we're just seeing, confirmation that, Joseph Parker, he's small at the division, doesn't have power. He's kind of, I won't say he's, I had actually mentioned this to somebody the other day in a post as far as about comparison to Joseph Parker. Just stylistically, because he's more of a fast guy, he definitely I think he puts his hands together better than most of the other heavyweights in the division as far as the champions. But he doesn't have that equalizer that they have either. So he's dealing with a lot. Being smaller, not having the power. So he definitely probably is the weaker link.
How much you usually weigh?
The heavyweight division, huh?
How much does he usually weigh?
I mean, I'm not even sure, but he's been coming in on the heavy side on his last couple.
He might need to try to drop
couple fights.
Maybe he needs to try to drop the cruiserweight if possible. If possible, I don't know.
I'm not sure if he could get down to that.
He's not that small. He's not that small. He can't go cruiserweight.
Yeah. I don't think he could drop down to 190. But he is definitely the small guy as far as the champions, and even for the division itself, he's pretty small for the division at heavyweight. So we'll definitely see what's going on with him as we progress. Post-fight, there are some things that were mentioned, or some fighters that came out and talked as far as, not being impressed with him. And, Hughie Fury, of course, said he's going to knock him out, now. Dillian
he could have did that this week. I mean, he would have went through with the fight. I don't get that. Why pull out and then talk shit?
Dillian Whyte, of course, said, he wants to fight him now. And Eddie Hearn saying it's a possibility that that's a fight that happens in the UK, since Parker confirmed that they'll be, fighting outside of New Zealand, from now on, looking for bigger fight opportunities. So most likely that may be the UK, I'm guessing. So Dillian Whyte seems like he may be a viable option, according to Hearn. But we'll see how that progresses. What do you guys make of the talk as far as them calling them out, though, especially Dillian Whyte? I'm going to start with 2K. I just want to get a quick reaction to that.
Hey, yo, who the fuck called out Dillian Whyte? You talking about Joseph Parker?
No,
Dillian,
Whyte called out
Dillian,
Parker.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte called out Joseph Parker.
Oh, okay. I mean, Dillian Whyte has been called. He called out Gerald Miller. He called out Anthony Joshua again. He called out Deontay Wilder. He's called out everybody. I mean, this isn't a surprise. Actually, as the names I just mentioned, Joseph Parker is probably the better choice. I think Gerald Miller is too fucking aggressive. End up knocking his old off-balance ass out. You know what I'm saying? We already know Deontay Wilder knocked that nigga the fuck out with one straight right hand. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua already slept that nigga. He had his left arm hanging out the ring and shit when he got knocked out in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, to be honest with you, Joseph Parker's the fight, probably the better matchup, man. I think it's a good move for him. If he's trying to get his name out there, I mean, you know, let me just say this. I can't knock a guy who's actually calling motherfuckers that have belts out. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of cats that are in other divisions, they seem to not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And we get mad when these cats are out there fighting, and we're like, oh, you know, he's got a nice little skill set, whatever the fuck. And then they get to the post-fight interview, and then they don't say nothing about anybody else in the division. You see what I'm saying? So I got to give him his credit for actually calling these guys out and wanting to be the best, wanting to get a belt. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, look at Dillian Whyte's skill set. This nigga might want to slow his roll. He fucked around getting knocked out.
I'm like, come on now, man. He went life and death with Derek Cesar. Yeah. He went life and death with Derek. He went life and death with Derek Cesar. Like that was a hard fight for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I mean, yeah, I agree. It's just I can't knock him for that. I mean, hey. Fuck it, give him the fight. Fuck it. Just like I said about Jamal Charlo said that he'll fight Gennady Golovkin and Daniel Jacobs right now. Fuck it, give him the fight. If we think the nigga gonna get knocked out, then shit, give him the fight. Fuck it. You know, they need a right test before they take on bigger opponents, right? Joseph Parker is looking for Anthony Joshua right now, and Deontay Wilder also called out Joseph Parker. If those two fights don't happen, give him that white. Fuck it.
Yeah. What do you guys make of he Fury talking shit though after pulling out of a fight? Pulling out of a fight, talking about him knocking him out now.
Just like his big cousin full of shit.
Man, exactly. What Big Cool said. Like I said, dog, y'all know how I do, nigga. If I don't respect a nigga, I don't even let you have your first name. So I call the nigga Hughie for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He's Hughie Fury for a fucking reason. Who the fuck is this guy? Nobody knows you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We know who Tyson is. We know Tyson Fury. We don't know no nigga named Hughie. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go fight somebody, motherfucker. This nigga should fight Mike Perez or somebody. Maybe Kubrat Pullov. Go fight somebody, nigga. We don't know you. So you can hold your mouth all you fucking want, but it's gonna go one ear and out the other, and niggas gonna be like, whatever, that some whack ass nigga named Hughie was talking shit. Anyway, what's up with this next fight though? That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Pretty much, bro. Like them niggas some big soft motherfuckers for real. I mean, Fury did, you know, he did his thing, but he was scared of the rematch with Vladimir. We ain't gonna talk about that, but them niggas some dope heads, or whatever they want to call themselves, man. They delusional. This shit funny though.
Tuesday, let me get your assessment of Parker's skill set, in comparison to the rest of the heavyweight champions. You know, Parker and Joshua, who are much bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? Of course, can get you out there and knock you out. Yeah. Let me get your assessment stylistically, because I actually think Parker is like, as far as he does a lot of things different for a heavyweight, but like I said, he's a smaller guy, no power. So I mean, he's probably he has a lot of I guess an uphill climb. You know what I'm saying? As far as him competing against those bigger guys, the bigger heavyweights.
Well, I wouldn't say Joseph Parker has absolutely no power. I mean, he's 23-0 with 18 knockouts. I mean, he slept that one motherfucker. He slept shit out of Alexander Dimitrico. And he slept the shit out of Solomon Hamano. I'm not saying these guys are world-class chin holders, you know what I'm saying, but if he catches you in the right spot, you will go to sleep. But as far as everything else, I think what you said earlier was a good assessment about it, how he puts his hands together, puts his combinations together. He's probably the best out of the champions at doing that. I think his hand speed is comparable to Anthony Joshua's probably. Might be a little bit faster. But just he puts combinations a lot better than Anthony Joshua does. Anthony Joshua is a 1-2 type of guy. Joseph Parker is not a 1-2 type of guy. He'll follow up with 3 and 4. Also, he has pretty decent footwork. I was a little pissed off at his footwork against Andy Ruiz. I didn't think he showed it to the ability that he has in the past. But his footwork could be maybe a level below David Hayes. But again, it depends on when Anthony Joshua comes in the ring, because in that Andy Ruiz fight, he didn't show it there, but he did in other fights. The problem with him is he has absolutely no fucking defense. You can hit this nigga with anything if you just time it right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could throw a left hook from the right side of your body. I don't know how that's gonna work, but you could do that. And you fuck around and hit this nigga with it. You know what I'm saying? If it's timed right. So I mean, that's my problem with him. He has no defense. If you get him up against the rope, he has no ability how to fight off the fucking ropes, man. And then he'll back his dumb ass up on the ropes. That's the funny part. Kind of like what Amir Khan does sometimes. He has no ability to fight off his back foot, but he will back up. And that's how a lot of cats catch him. And that's how I see, actually, to be honest with you, if I see Joseph Parker getting knocked out, it's going to be because he was on his back foot and he got caught. I can see that shit. I can see it visibly right now. Against any heavyweight, it could be against, an Alexander Povetkin type of fighter. He'll get knocked out on his back foot, fam. So I definitely think he's the weakest link. Even though
y'all breaking up. Are you breaking up?
You hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, even though Deontay Wilder I said earlier that I definitely think he's the weakest link. Even though Deontay Wilder basically just told us that he has power, that's his equalizer. You don't even really need skill. Didn't he just say that recently? You don't need skill when you got power.
Yeah, he said that dumb shit.
Pretty much just showed that he's a real casual when it really comes to the sport of boxing. And niggas just in there making money, evidently, right? Even though he said that, I still believe that he's a better fighter than Joseph Parker. So he's going to have some problems, man, when motherfuckers are actually trying to get that belt. He's going to have some problems. But the good news about Joseph Parker is he signed with the right promotional company, Top Rank. The Top Rank will keep that belt in-house. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go out of the house and go fight Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. He can keep the belt in-house and make matchups in-house to keep Joseph Parker the champion. So
be New Zealand's greatest heavyweight.
Exactly. Exactly. So he's in trouble.
That's like the IBO. That's like the IBO. That's like the IBO title.
Yeah.
Shots fired. So we're gonna go into the next review of our other big fight from the weekend. Turned out to be a big WWE spectacle. You know what I'm saying? With everything else that happened in the aftermath, we're gonna get into that as well. We had Canelo Alvarez taking on Julio Cesar Salad Jr.
That shit funny. Junior.
Shoot.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you used to make weight, shit.
I'm telling you, if his father did this on him and take away the last name, I'm doing it for his ass, shit. So it's either Salad Junior. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucked up. He probably not even a judge. He probably what you call him Caesar Pizza. Shit.
Wow. Take away the junior, twine. Take away the junior. You don't deserve to be a junior.
Oh yeah, okay. That's
wow.
No relation. Yeah, no
relation.
relation.
Y'all not gonna get him credit for not quitting? he took an ass whooping for 12 rounds. Y'all know we give him credit for standing there getting his
not
ass
doing more victories. I'm not doing more victories. But with that said, Canelo pretty much, he dominated, unanimous decision, you know what I'm saying, shutout fight. There ain't much really to break down in the fight. I would send it to DJ to do a breakdown of everything, but there's,
no need.
I mean, is there really a need to break it down like that?
That's how pissed off people are about this fight.
There's no reason for them to be. See, and that's what I tried to tell y'all niggas, man. Not just y'all, but everybody else. I tried to tell them. I said, please don't think this fight is going to be a war of two Mexicans for, the country of Mexico's heart and pride. Please don't. Because Chavez Jr. is not the guy that we should be putting in a match to say, oh, which one of these two guys is the greatest fighter out of Mexico today? No. Shit, Gilberto Ramirez probably should be in that fight before fucking Chavez Jr. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, come on, man. Like, people, it's the dumb loyal fans, and I'll get to that later. You know what I'm saying? But it's the dumb loyal fans, man.
With me, it was a more lesser thing stylistically where I expected to see the normal Cesar salad that we always see. You know what I'm saying? That's going in there and trying to bang, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I thought stylistically we would see in this fight. Man, the furthest thing from this motherfucker staying on the outside trying to box and jab with Canelo. Roy Jones Jr. had the best assessment, he basically did what Canelo tried to do with Floyd, instead of trying to fight with the master boxer, he tried to outbox the master boxer, which, he wasn't capable of doing.
He's not even a master boxer. That's the bad part. That's the bad
part. Yeah. That's not a part of Cesar. That's not a part of Cesar Salad's game. That ain't nothing he's ever shown us. I mean, that ain't never been his style. So for him to try and implement it for this one fight against Canelo, like it was crazy to me. He was putting a lot of blame on Nacho Cheese Burns' name after the fight. As far as what happened in the outcome. Let me get you guys' thoughts on as far as that, man. Bo, I'll go ahead and start. Let you take on that one. Bo. Bo, you
Suicide.
All right,
Hello?
man. So Bo.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who didn't see this motherfucker? Who didn't see this motherfucker blaming Nacho? When has Chavez ever came out and said shit was his fault, man? So I wanted to. As a matter of fact, they was tweeting when the fight was over. Nacho Berenstein would be thrown under the bus. In the 12th round, they were tweeting Nacho Berenstein about to be thrown under the bus, and sure as shit, he was. So I'm not surprised about that. Then you saw there was a video up of his father walking down the aisle with him, just fucking disgusted with the motherfucker. When the fight started, I said, this motherfucking legs look like stick men. He ain't got shit that he can hit Canelo with to make Canelo fucking respect him. We saw that. We saw a dude that tried to do something he ain't never fucking done before, which is box. He's never tried to box. He's never tried to use his height or his reach. Pretty much, I mean, shit. I just wanted him. I was like hoping he gives on like a Klitschko type performance to redeem himself somewhat a little bit because he had an opportunity to erase all the bad. But some 2K said about how Canelo don't care about belts. Chavez Jr. don't care about legacy, and he don't.
Oh, hell no.
Chavez Jr. don't care nothing about legacy, man, because he had all he had to do, like he had this motherfucker on the ropes, and he threw 1 or 2 punches, and I'm like, that's it. Canelo Alvarez did to Chavez what Floyd did to Canelo, and it was sad. That's why I put that tweet out, but no, reposted it when I said, for all y'all that pay for this shit, tell me about PBC now. At least you wouldn't have to pay for this shit. So that's really all it is. There's nothing really to sum up. We saw what we always knew about Chavez. Good chin, I don't know if I can even say heart because he didn't try, but I mean it was a disappointment. And from jump, it just goes to prove from jump when we was on here talking about that fight, we always talking about how bullshitty this fight was from Jump Street. Oscar De La Hoya did a great job of selling people the illusion that Chavez had changed.
Oh yeah, and you know, you guys saw my post last night. This was the epitome of the anti-Mexican rivalry fight. You know, we didn't get anything close to what we thought we would see stylistically in this fight, and you know, Canelo gave him chances to do that, which is even more ridiculous.
There was people saying that this fight was worse than Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. That's how bad it was.
It was.
Yeah.
At least Manny tried.
It was.
Manny tried.
It was way worse. I actually enjoyed it.
Manny hurt.
I enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know, even the undercard was a big bomb to me. You know, even the fight that I was looking forward to, the JoJo Diaz and the Vila fight, turned out to be a pretty much a stinker. You know, so like it was pretty much a night of blowout. So I feel sorry for, definitely feel sorry for those the Hispanic fans that came out in flocks to Vegas and all that. You know, for that type of fight. You know, that what it turned out to be was ridiculous. And even the end of it, man, like you see the whole WWE shit with, you know, Triple G, and you know that shit was crazy as hell. You know, like you guys had this planned out or something. What the fuck was that? That shit was crazy. How they had that all situated. But you know, let me get you guys' assessment of what we saw in the post fight. You know, with the announcement of Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez fighting in September. I'll go ahead and start with you, Big Cool.
I mean, hopefully it's really set in stone, the ink dry, and they announce the venue soon. I mean, I think it's a great fight. I think it's a closer fight than it would have been if it took place 2 years ago. Canelo definitely has the hand speed advantage. Definitely a good body puncher, but will he react to a guy that can really punch and that has good punch placement? He cut the ring off. Has a ferocious body attack as well as like he does, and we're gonna really see he ducked and dodged Triple G long enough to get himself acclimated to 160. So he said he don't fuck around. We're gonna see September 16th how he deals with Triple G. But I think it's a 50-50 fight, man. I think that Triple G kind of has lost a slight step. I'm not gonna say a full step. Or maybe Daniel Jacobs is just better than what we thought. But we're going to see who's really the best middleweight in the world come September 16th.
All right. Bernard, let me pass it on to you, man. What are your thoughts about the whole charade afterwards, the way it went down? They actually had him come down the walkway, all that. Like, it was all
I mean, everybody been saying it's WWE style interest and all that. My thing is this. I'm going to say this. Once I see a 24/7 series on this fight, before the fight, I'll believe it. That's when I believe that the fight is going to be made.
I mean, but they actually had, like, the post-fight presser was like, this shit was crazy as hell. Like I've never seen anything like this. The post-fight presser actually turned out to be like an announcement of this damn fight.
And the press conference.
And that's fine. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, Bernard.
Oh no! All I said, I never seen that. But like I said, until 2K pointed out, there's no venue. No venue. Hey, Mexican Independence Day or Independence Day weekend, that's where the fight's going to be. Okay. Nope. I mean.
So where's the venue?
Right. Right. You did all this stuff. Something's going to happen. Or we going to, like, 2K said it too. I heard it. Jim Langley pointed out, and 2K pointed it out to his video with David Lemieux.
Yeah, David Lemieux gonna show up and hit Triple G in the back of the head with a chair and go announce himself as the opponent.
Basically.
Hey, let's watch this closely. Don't jump to it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see this fight, but my prediction was I thought it was going to be Billy Ho versus Canelo in September, and then he'll route it some way into next year in May to fight Triple G.
My thing is, after this fight with Julio Cesar Salad, Golden Boy can't sell no more. They can't sell motherfuckers on this kind of bullshit no more. Like they can.
Yes, they can.
You think they can get away with another? You think they got another gimmick? Another gimmick?
The Mew was their last chance.
Like no. I mean, look, they pulled out a Mexican rivalry fight, like selling it as a motherfucking Barrera Morales fight. You know what I'm saying? Do you think they have another gimmick that they can pull?
Get 2K.
Oh my God! Let me say this, man. I'm appalled by you niggas. First of all, if I was standing in front of you niggas, I would politely slap shit out of you and be cool at the same time. Just like that. Now let me just say this. First, let me answer your second question before I get into the meat. Bruh, what the fuck was Liam Smith then? They could do whatever the fuck they want. They have a loyal fan base. They have a country behind them that backs whatever the fuck they do, fam. Dog, it's just like Triple G. Triple G can go fight anybody he wants, and he has a loyal fan base of casuals that will always back him. They may not pay for his pay-per-view, but they will go to death with niggas like us on our videos and in these boxing groups trying to argue the reason why Golovkin just fought an A-level fighter and motherfucking, what's his name, Willie Monroe and the other motherfucker he just beat, okay? Same thing with Canelo. They will go to death. And the difference between Canelo and Triple G, the only difference is Canelo's fan base will pay for pay-per-view to watch him fight nobody, okay? He did it with Alfredo Angulo. He did it with James Kirkland. That wasn't on pay-per-view. It was on network television, but they still supported it. He did it with Liam motherfucking Beefy, okay? And then he just did it with Chavez Jr. So he can definitely do it with a Billy Ho or a David Lemieux, especially when David Lemieux was on the undercard and all those fucking fans just watched David Lemieux beat Marco Reyes. They would definitely back that shit, okay? Now, my first point, it doesn't matter, or the meat of this, it doesn't matter what the fuck Golden Boy tells us. This is the fourth time they said that they're going to fight Triple G next, okay? Yes, we had a WWE-style press conference in the back. Golovkin was walking down the fucking the aisle and shit like he was Sheamus or somebody. We already know this. You know what I'm saying? But the key factor here is there is no fucking venue. How are you going to have a press conference and going to say, yeah, nigga, the shit's signed, sealed, and delivered? It's not signed, sealed, and delivered because there's no fucking venue. That's not a complete contract. You got niggas on here arguing with me over my video talking about, hey, bro, hold on. This is what these dumb niggas sound like, too, when they argue. Hey, bro, it's a done deal, goddammit. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. A done deal is a contract that has a fucking venue on it, nigga. It's not a done deal. This is just up in the air, okay? Now, and I'll give the example of that I already gave you guys. I'll let the viewers or the listeners hear it. Just last month, there was an official announcement with a venue. There was purses. Hell, they even had a set amount that the investors were going to invest in to have this fight held in Dubai between Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan. And it was set for April 29th on pay-per-view. What happened to that fight? It got canceled. You see what I'm saying? So just because a nigga makes an official announcement doesn't mean that this fight is going to happen. And then we're dealing with Golden Boy. So we need to really be on our fucking toes and like, all right, nigga, I hear you talking, motherfucker, but you're not telling me this fight is really going to go down. Let's wait till September 15th, motherfucker. And then on that Friday, if ain't no bullshit shenanigans happening, then I'll believe you. You see what I'm saying? So I'm appalled that y'all niggas took this damn news and ran with it. I ain't saying shit about this fight until I know it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and there ain't no shenanigans that's going to stop this fight from happening. Then I'll report on it. But after last night's little WWE bullshit, they can keep that, brother. Man, that shit go right past PK, fam. They can keep that.
Bro, let me get your assessment on it, man, because they went to the fullest, and I'm like, did they do this to try and match the fucking shit we seen in the UK with Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko? I mean, to have some kind of big-ass effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was over the edge, man. Let me get your thoughts on that, bro.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what they did. I mean, that is exactly what they did. That's the only reason for it. They kept this all hush-hush. You know, so nobody knew Triple G was going to be there. I don't know why motherfuckers were shocked about that. He basically told us that they wasn't fighting. He wasn't going to fight again. They was going to keep negotiating to try to get a fight with Oscar in September. So he passed up on Billy Joe Saunders in the unification. Then you know, they have him come to the ring like he was sitting in the stand. So some kind of way this motherfucker worked his way back to the aisle. Come down the aisle and shit. They had a little music playing, the lights going on. Had his knockouts up on the fucking Titantron and shit.
Yeah,
and
it was crazy, man. Like this shit was
had it right on the Titantron. Now, to K's point, why I can understand why they feel the way they feel, even though even though those are two cynical ass motherfuckers, but. To their point, we seen Canelo get in the ring and say, I don't fuck around, then next week drop his belt. Okay? We saw him do that. I don't fuck around. We don't fuck around, and then next week he dropped his fucking belt. We don't know, like I said this, I'm curious as to what the fuck did Tom Loeffler bend over and take from Oscar? And I'm being honest, like what the fuck because think about this. You pretty much, and I said this back when it happened, I said you pretty much told Oscar De La Hoya and you in control. Because you said 3G's hurt, we're not fighting this summer, we're focusing on the Canelo fight. So you pretty much told Oscar, hey man, you know, the ball is in your court, whatever. Whatever you want, this is what we're gonna say. Oscar, probably was like, oh, look at bitch, quit that talking tough. You know what I'm saying? Quit that talking tough, motherfucker. You got the fan base, but you ain't making no money with your fan base like we making money. You know what I'm saying? You up here fighting. You up here fighting Daniel Jacobs, and we fighting motherfucking Liam Smiths and Chavez making big dollars. So, no.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No, bitch, sit down. Sit your ass down over there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went into his office and Oscar was like, here, sign this. I'm giving you less. Now get the fuck out of my office. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But, I mean, like I said, I can see anybody that's critical that it won't happen, I can understand why, because of we've been here before, and there could always be a hiccup. I mean, you could have them say, well, wait a minute, there's some other things we got to work out. Matter of fact, we saw that shit with Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. Remember when Adams was saying it was a done deal? Pacquiao told him, I signed the contract, and Floyd like, what fucking dude, you got a boss. You ain't what the fuck is you talking about? Remember that shit? So, like they said, and like my partner said, man, he's right. Until we see a 24/7, because we have been waiting, we have been tricked so many times. So until we see a 24/7, come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I understand people feeling that way. Now, for people who get excited about it, or people who like, okay, well, this is big news, in the way that they did it in such a way, it gives the illusion, listen, you guys already knew that this dude Chavez was going to show up. That's why y'all drained his ass and made him look sick and stupid. So, he took a nice, quick $3 million purse. And then you had this all set up because you had the man's music there. Think about that, dog. You had his music. You had a video. All that shit is there. Ain't nobody like
I said, the post-fight press conference, like not the post-fight interview, the post-fight press conference. You got Abel Sanchez, you got Tom LaFleur all on stage. I mean, like, this shit was crazy.
It
was different from anything I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me ask you this one question. Let me ask you this question, right? If you know you just gave somebody a fucked up product, you know this product ain't right, and you know that, hey, they're going to be angry and upset, right? That's like when motherfuckers go to buy something. How do they always get you to buy some shit? They say, hey, you buy this one, you get that other one free. Mm-hmm. Because they know, well, this ain't all that great, but we're going to offer you a deal. That's what this was. Listen, we know y'all paid for that, so to make y'all feel better about your money, we're gonna tell y'all, hey man, good night, good luck in Canelo Alvarez September.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
what I was getting at when I was making the question. As far as can Golden Boy get away with another shit show? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm kind of alluding to.
But dude, all you gotta do is that doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, like I said, the fans are gonna be mad at that point in time, but Canelo can announce the fight May 5th again. You know what I'm saying? Next year, Cinco de Mayo, and fight motherfucking Toriano Johnson. They'll go buy it. $300,000. I'm telling you, dog.
That's what I'm saying, man. We saw it.
What? And then the way it was funny in the way Max said the question up for the answer. He said, "So we got some news on your next opponent. So would you tell us who it is?" And Canelo with his broken English, Mr. Golovkin, you're not. I was like, man, that shit was funny.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say goodnight. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
He said, Mr. Golovkin. He can't speak English for shit. So he can say born ready and Golovkin.
Man, that nigga fight Dale Müvment. That nigga fight Dale Müvment.
I mean, it would make perfect sense because it's an in-house fight. It's definitely competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I like the fight personally. I wouldn't be mad at it.
What, Lemieux?
I hate it.
Canelo?
Man,
I hate it,
man. Fuck that
terrible fight.
Lemieux gonna get his ass knocked the fuck out.
Lemieux is exactly. He's already been outboxed. He was outboxed by fucking. What is that nigga's name? Goddamn, I'm blowing the goddamn brain fart. Damn.
Marco Rubio.
Rubio or
Ackline or somebody else, Alcini or something like that.
Joaquin Alcini.
Alcini, yeah.
By that nigga. Man, Canelo beats the shit out of fucking David Lemieux. I don't want to see that. I'll be taking out the trash like, bro, I ain't watching that shit. Hell nah.
I mean, but this is an in-house fight they could sell after, fucking Lemieux's been with them, for a while, and fucking, especially going back off the Curtis Stevens, knockout. People like that kind of shit. So
Lemieux look like Fandango, man. That's what that motherfucker look like.
All right, that's it. I guess we're gonna go into our next topic, and it might get a little bit emotional. So I might play some music, so a little bit of
goodbye.
Yeah, a little bit of Boys the Man. A little bit of Boys the Man.
Oh shit.
For Cubano Loco. We're gonna talk about
I got a family emergency, y'all. I gotta call y'all back.
He said, I got a family emergency. Oh, man. But we're going to get into another fight that happened over the weekend. And, we seen Yuriorkis Gamboa. He pretty much bowed out of a fight against Robinson Castellanos, which was a precursor to the Cinco de Mayo showdown between Julio Cesar and Canelo over the weekend. This one was actually on Friday on ESPN. We mentioned the fight a while ago as far as it happening, and I said this is going to be a more difficult fight than people expect. I mean, we saw it, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't surprised at one. The only thing I was surprised at was him quitting. I mean, not at him losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a fight I really thought he could lose. So, I mean, me ahead of time, I knew that. But the quitting was probably the only thing I may have been shocked by. Bo, I guess we're going to let you give your little soliloquy on the downfall of on Yuriorkis, man. You actually did an article
over the weekend about it as well. So I guess we go into your little poem, your little
suicide letter.
Go into your little
eulogy.
Well, there you go do your little spoken word set that you got.
Let's snap for him. Let's snap when he finishes.
Let me know if you need an instrumental. Let me know if you need an instrumental or some background music. You know what I'm saying?
First off, let me say, I'm glad motherfuckers ain't falling asleep.
I went to Bo's house when he was doing it. The nigga was typing this shit up. The nigga was like, nigga, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on, man? How you doing, man? I was like, oh, this nigga was crying, nigga.
No. My wife had me cutting onions, dog. My wife had me cutting onions. I know that's what he said.
First off, let me say, I'm glad that motherfuckers ain't falling asleep on their goddamn phone without muting themselves so I can talk. I'm glad motherfuckers ain't eating potato chips and halfway stuttering over their goddamn selves and shit while I'm trying to talk. I'm especially glad motherfucker ain't tugging on his beard, rolling up a motherfucking blunt, eating some Twinkies so he can be here on time so I can motherfucking talk. And I'm also glad that my man 2K to God didn't get his ass whipped on the highway for his reckless driving. But Yuriorkis Gamboa, man, it's really a sad case. I actually was talking to me and Boxeo Cubano was talking about it, man, because it's a sad case. Here's a guy, and 2K did something on this, where he was saying how he had issues with 50 Cent, then re-signed with him, then 50 filed bankrupt on the motherfucker, so he couldn't get out of his goddamn contract. I don't know if you remember that. And he did something about it. And you know, he bounced from promoter, he bounced to trainer. But if you go back and look at Yuriorkis Gamboa's entire career, dog, he was never a fundamentally sound fighter. He just had fast reflexes and quick hands, and he would come out and swarm on you and get on top of you. Well, he never worked on this craft. Teddy Atlas was pointing out, this motherfucker was throwing a left hook and was getting caught with a straight right hand down the pipe every time. You know, his feet, he never had the best of defense. His just reflexes were good, so he could move his feet to get out of the way. Okay, that wasn't there. He left a great trainer in Solace and then he went to Emmanuel Stewart, and that didn't fucking work out. So the inactivity, the high up in age, and I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say. The motherfucker's 37. He ain't no extra old. The motherfucker's 37.
They say he's 35, so he is an extra little something. Lying motherfucking.
That shit, they never. Well, I didn't see that part where they said the nigga was 35. I thought they said 36. I said it was 36. But anyway, though, if you really look at it, you know, his career is what I said in my article. It's a bunch of what ifs, man. He was mentioning his fighting Garcia. He was supposed to have fought Juan Manuel Lopez. I mean, dude, it's a bunch of what ifs, man. Inactivity, bad fucking decisions. I mean, like I said, you know, he's a lightweight version of Roy Jones. Once his athleticism was gone, like he always had chin trouble because he was getting dropped early. He was getting dropped early in his fucking career. So it's sad, but he does need to go on and retire, because when you get beat like that by a guy like that, now I'll give him credit. He got knocked down, got up, and fought 2 more rounds. But before motherfuckers go on their shit talking about how he quit in the corner, there's a lot of great fighters that quit in the fucking corner. Don't get me started saying names. Muhammad Ali, don't phrase it.
So is Gamboa a great fighter?
Vitaly Klitschko. Huh?
But is Gamboa a great fighter?
You motherfucking right, he's a great Cuban fighter. Fuck out of here, roly-poly ass nigga. Don't you ever ask me goddamn question like that. This motherfucker is a unified goddamn champion, Olympic gold medal winner. Fuck out of here. But no, it was very hard to watch. It was very, you could see from round 1, he didn't have it, and even in his last fight, people tried saying it was his inactivity. And me and Twan was talking about that, and And I told Twan off air, when I tell y'all, I was like, nah, man, that wasn't an activity. Boy looked it bad. He just looked it bad. And he did.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it finally caught up to him, man. This is what happens when guys don't work on their craft. When you solely count on your athleticism, when you solely count on your raw ability, and you don't work on your craft. I mean, think about this. How often in any fight have we ever seen this motherfucker throw a straight commitment jab? This dude didn't even throw a straight committed jab. So it was hard to watch, man. But yeah, he needs to retire, or he either needs to retire, go ahead on up to Puerto Rico and fight Juan Manuel Lopez.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight.
Yeah, final finale, that would be a good one.
Considering that's a terrible fight. Y'all need to cut that shit out. Gamboa lost, but he's better than fucking Juan. He's better off fighting his trainer, nigga. Shit, fight that nigga.
Oh man, damn.
Y'all think he gonna retire though? I think he gonna still try to come back and fight.
No, Gamboa, no, because I'm gonna tell you why. No, I'm gonna tell you why he's gonna retire. The wins were predicated off what Golden Boy was gonna do as far as putting money behind him. Now, some people want to say, well, he fought too soon because he fought like 2 months ago. He fought a little bit. He fought relatively too soon. Even if that's the case, though, even if you want to say he fought too soon, he didn't give his body enough time to rest. You're still not supposed to look that bad. Like Gamboa should have had enough experience, enough technique, and everything else to not look that bad. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah,
no, man, I'm not gonna give him no excuses, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna give him no excuses, man. He was getting hit with the slowest right hand. My fucking grandmama could have dodged that fucking right hand. And she passed away. God rest her soul. So no, man. He looked it bad. I think he needs to go on and retire because I don't know if Golden Boy is going to invest any more money. And I mean, what do you do now? Who do you put him in there? Get sacrificial lamb for fucking Oscar Valdez or Jojo Diaz? I mean, why? Why put yourself through that? He needs to go on and retire. I don't see Golden Boy putting no money behind him, and I'm just being honest. After that loss, and we know how Oscar get down. When you lose with Oscar, when you lose with Oscar, he drops your ass. We asked Ishe Smith and Ken Ambundrich.
Yeah, you can see he was smiling and shit at the post fight after the fight. He was like, yeah, that motherfucker just don't know. He already cut.
Yeah.
Definitely. So let me. I guess we can continue on with Big Cool was starting with. What will Gamboa's career be looked at? I guess you kind of touched on it as well, though. But I wanted to get everybody else's assessment of what do you think Gamboa's career will be looked at as. You know what I'm saying? He was a 2-division titleist. You know what I'm saying? And a gold medalist as well. So he does have some accolades behind him. But what do you guys really think he'll be looked at as?
A 30 for 30 movie?
Could have been. I mean, he could have done so much more. I mean, self-destructive with bad decisions, and like Bo said, not perfecting his craft and, becoming more fundamentally and technically sound kind of, hindered him as he got older, and the reflexes went, as you see in this past Friday. He would never get hit by a slow-ass right hand like he was, continued to get hit with over and over. So, I mean, if he would have made better decisions, not left Top Rank or leaving Top Rank going with somebody more credible than 50 Cent and kind of just work on his craft, he would have been much, much better and looked in higher regard. But, I mean, he was a great fighter, you know what I'm saying? He gave us exciting fights. He was tough, even though he kind of, quit this past Friday, he always showed the resiliency. He got up from each knockdown. And, he did fight a lot of tough guys coming up early in his career. So, I mean, he'd probably be a Hall of Famer just off of, unifying, being a 2-division champion and a gold medalist.
Ooh, no, I don't know about no.
He ain't gonna be no goddamn Hall of Fame.
I mean,
I got to agree with that.
Gotti, if he in, anything possible.
Nah, bro. Nigga,
Big Cool. Have a seat, man.
Hold on. Yeah, I know, exactly. But no, yeah, you need to try it. Somebody get that nigga a couple Twinkies, man. That nigga hungry right now. He's fucking up. His brain ain't working right.
Give that nigga some warm milk. He's going to take a nap.
That nigga need a Snickers. You so crazy when you're hungry.
Yeah. They're cool, dog. Just because you're unified does not mean you're going to the Hall of Fame. O'Neal Bell, cruiserweight, 2006. He was the last guy to be the undisputed champion, meaning he unified all 4 belts. That nigga ain't even in the Hall of Fame.
No, I wasn't saying just because he unified, but I'm considering his amateur pedigree as well. I wasn't saying just because he unified, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He still ain't going. Amateur pedigree doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion. I mean, I think it has a little bit of it's a little bit of a factor, but it's more so what you've done as a professional that puts you in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? If you actually turn pro, you got to look at actually the Hall of Fame. Ain't too many amateurs in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got Stevenson and but what's the other Cuban's name? The best amateurs ever. Stevenson and what's his name? Can't think of his name right now.
Devon.
Felix Devon. Thank you. They're not even in the Hall of Fame, to my knowledge. They might be, but I don't think they are. And those are the top, amateur fighters ever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, his amateur pedigree is not going to do enough to push him into the Hall of Fame based on what he's done as a professional. But what I think Bo hit the fucking nail right on the head with his heart-taking eulogy he wrote yesterday. That shit was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? What if? That's exactly what Gamboa's career is going to be like, just like Joan Guzman. When Joan Guzman lost to Khabib Alvarez and gave him his first loss, we were all like, oh, man, that's fucked up. And then shortly after, Joan Guzman left the sport. So we're just like we're saying with him, what if? We're going to say that with Gamboa. What if? Because just like with Jones, he almost had a fight with Floyd Mayweather and shit and other guys between 140 and 147. Yuriorkis Gamboa almost had fights with U.O.E.N.O, with Mikey Garcia. You know
Randall Rios.
There was big fights big fights on the table that didn't happen. And we're all saying, well, shit, what if? So that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Exactly what's going to happen.
All right, I think we got a caller on the line. Let me see if they want to actually comment on anything. Southern California on the line. What's good with you? Southern Cali. Question or comment? All right. I guess just a listener. That said, I guess we're going to go into our next topic. Looking like we kind of went into this a little bit last week on the night at the round table. The IBF shenanigans. They're at it again, this time with Donnie Nietes, who just won his title like a week ago, last week. And they've already mandated that he make a mandatory defense of his title against, I guess,
fourth rank. It could be against the fourth rank guy. Look at the rankings. Ain't nobody.
No. That's actually who he fought for the title, the fourth rank guy. So he be fighting Juan Carlos Rebecca, who's actually an ex-world titleist. So it's not a bad fight. But at the same time, it's preventing, the bigger unification belts. Like, I'd love to see him fight Kazuto Ioka. You know what I'm saying? I think he easily beats Yu Shuming, so I'm not really as interested in seeing that fight. But I love to see him fight Kazuto Ioka personally in the unification belt. So, I mean, I'll go ahead and give 2K's assessment as far as the IBF mandating. He has to fight, is looking like Juan Carlos Rebecca by October. And pretty much, denying another possible good unification bout in Asia,
Again, as I said on the night of the round table, IBF once again comes out there and is like, hold on. We don't give a damn about the best fights out there. We don't care about guys unifying or being undisputed champion. So here you better fight that mandatory. We're going to strip you by October. That is the IBF way. That's what they're known for now. Going in there. What did my man say? Unification blocking. Shout out to my man Bernard, Mr. Fuckery. Unification blocking. You know what I'm saying? If this was a physical show, I'd show the picture right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's exactly what they're doing. And, I can't get mad at this matchup. Like you just mentioned, Juan Carlos Rebecca is a good fighter, He's been around the block for a little while. He's 33 years old. He's fought nothing but the best in and around the division. So I can't get mad at that matchup. But at the same time, everybody is, their mouth is watering for a Cesar fight, and they were possibly talking about Zhu Shiming. I really don't give a fuck about that fight because Zhu Shiming is trash. And also like Joseph Parker, who signed with Top Rank and who also has the WBO just like Zhu Shiming. He is a very protected champion right now. They're going to make sure this nigga don't fight nobody in the top 5, for his particular belt. He already did fight somebody in the top 5. He fought Amnat real long, and he got that one loss because they decided to put him up against him. So they're going Bob Rivers going to make sure that belt stays in-house, just like Joseph Parker's belt. But so the other guy that he's mentioned is Kazuto Ioka, who is also, right now he's the number 1 guy in the division rated by the ring. So that's definitely a fight we're looking to see. But Repko's number 4 by the ring. It's not a bad matchup, but it's just another testament to how the IBF they put their cape on and they swoop down whenever there's an opportunity for a unification bout to happen, and they try to block that shit, man. It's like it's like a nigga, you see a fine-ass bitch, he's trying to get at her and shit, and here comes this nigga with his cape trying to save the hoe. No, I blocked you from getting any pussy tonight. That's what the IBF does. And that's what they're doing right now, man. It's classic IBF bullshit. But it's a good fight.
All right, anybody else want to chime in on this, Bo, Big Cool, Bernard?
No. I mean, IBF don't want to, for some reason I guess the thing they're in the office is like, how can we stop unification bout? I guess that's the number one thing. As soon as you get close to it, okay, boom, they implement their plan. So it is what it is. Just hope Nietes just gets rid of his mandatory, and then hopefully we get a unification bout next year.
All right, so we're going to go into our next topic. It's basically, I guess it was a recent article or a recent interview with Mike Tyson, and, he was basically giving his thoughts about, Anthony Joshua in the heavyweight division after, the fight over, the weekend. I guess it was a week and a half ago, over in the UK between him and Vladimir Klitschko. And, based on what he saw, he thought, Anthony Joshua was the new king of boxing. Allah, I guess he's putting them on the stature of back in the day when the heavyweights were always the most noted, champion over all the other divisions. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on Mike Tyson's assessments. I guess I got the idea as far as bringing this up because Bo did a video on older fighters not giving the young fighters, as much credit, and it seems like Tyson seems to be anointing Joshua here. So I just wanted to do kind of something contrary to, seeing that, after seeing this video on that, man. Let me get you guys' thoughts on it, though. I'll start off with you, Bo, and go to the rest of y'all.
Well, okay, here's the thing. To a certain degree, you have to look at, first you have to look at who it's coming from. It's coming from Mike Tyson. That's number one. So it's coming from Mike Tyson, who I said he openly admitted that he had never watched an Anthony Joshua fight. He just saw the highlights. But yet, you ain't never seen the dude, but you think he can beat somebody else, and you ain't never watched him. That's number one. Okay, secondly, when they was talking to him, he said something how Joshua should fight Mike Perez. Now, let me just say this right here. I heard that, and I don't care who get mad at me. Mike Perez ain't even a cat that when we mention Cuban fighters, Mike Perez's name don't even fucking come up in the conversation.
Is he managing Mike Perez or something?
I don't know. Okay, you said that, right? I have no idea.
He must be managing them or something.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. But Wilder has a point to a certain degree because we have seen Floyd do this to Andre Ward and things of that nature. But here's the thing: when Floyd did it to Ward, that's because Ward was a threat to Floyd's legacy. Yep. I don't think anybody out there can tell me Deontay Wilder is a threat to Mike Tyson's legacy. And if you are telling me that, We need to have a long talk because I'm gonna need you to piss in the cup and give me some blood and some hair follicles. I'm gonna have you tested in the motherfucker because there's no way you can tell me that. Okay. Then, I get what Deontay Wilder is saying. Like, Floyd ain't giving back. Floyd from Detroit. Floyd ain't building no gyms in Detroit. He building shit over in Russia. Same thing with Roy Jones. Roy Jones want dual citizenship and shit like that. So I get what Deontay Wilder is saying, but what Deontay Wilder also have to understand is, dog, you are an American heavyweight champion. You hold the most prestigious belt in fucking boxing. That shit comes with the territory. All of our heavyweights had to endure criticism, especially when you look at the long history of motherfuckers that have held them belts that were considered American heavyweight champions. Tyson still comes under criticism to this day about his resume. Larry Holmes, when Ali left, Larry Holmes was heavily fucking criticized. Lennox Lewis was, him and Evander Holyfield was considered not the champions until they beat Tyson. So, that shit, he just got to understand that, man. That's going to be part of the game. And it was just Tyson saying it, but you also got to realize we do want to see, we do want to see better. We do want to see you in more competitive. We do want to see you fight some high echelon dudes in, the division. So, I personally think, like I say, Deontay got point. I think he might have took it a little bit too personal because, again, look where it came from. It came from Tyson. Tyson was criticizing Floyd, and I think I told Bernard, Tyson said Floyd didn't fight Paul Williams. I said nobody fought Paul Williams. Who the fuck? Shane? Oscar, none of you motherfuckers fought. What the fuck are you talking about?
Pacquiao,
right, yeah. So, Deontay, if Deontay Wilder wants to shut everybody up, only, hey, you know what? Fight somebody and won't nobody say nothing, man. Fight Luis Ortiz. Fight to beat Luis Ortiz. What can he say, man? They can't say nothing. So.
Well, thank you for jumping again on the next damn segment. I kind of wanted to get everybody else's opinion on what Tyson said as far as Anthony Joshua being the king of boxing. Before we got into that, did any of you guys want to answer that one, or add?
I'll chime in on it. More in the sense of Deontay Wilder. I heard his response, and he's like, yo, the older generation should be trying to help the younger generation fighters and stuff like that, this and that. Yes, we see a video of Lennox Lewis helping Deontay Wilder with his jab. The reason why I think, as I look at Tyson now, he has the right to criticize Wilder, I don't know if he heard the comments, though. So when I say it, when you sit there and tell everybody, hey, I don't need skills, you put yourself in a bad light. Now, I don't know if Tyson heard those comments. But when Tyson makes a comment and he's looking at comparison to your skills to Anthony Joshua's skills, he's going to go more to Joshua because Joshua is utilized, even though he does a 1-2, you can at least accept it. You can see, like, okay, he's trying. He's making an effort to utilize his skills. You see that uppercut that Joshua has is a threat. Wilder only relies to his right hand, and Bo, you pointed out today that when he fought Chris Ariola, when he broke his hand and injured his right bicep, he had no other choice but to use his left hand and his jab and those body shots. Come on, with Wilder, you basically he was crying like, man, give the baby a bottle, man. Go out there and fight top competition. Push for the fights. When you make certain comments like that and don't expect to be criticized for how you are in the ring, it was turnabout was fair play. So he made those comments first about not having skills. And for some reason, karma came back through Tyson, crowning Joshua as a king of boxing right now. And I'm not saying Joshua is king of boxing, but as of right now, he is a star on the rise.
But if Tyson ain't never seen Joshua fight, and I know damn well Tyson ain't watching no interviews of Wilder, so I mean I can't say that's karma. Like, I can't say that's karma why he said it. I mean,
well, no. When I say karma, Wilder said, "Hey, I don't need skills, right? Okay.
Yes.
Again, then just in the blue, Tyson said, "Hey, Wilder ain't that great. Joshua is. You can't get mad." That's what I mean by karma. I'm not. You don't necessarily have to see something. It just karma in the media.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
I see what you're right. Yeah, you're right. When you say something, and that's the thing, another thing, like Deontay, what I understand, you made and 2K said this, you made the unwritten rule mistake that you never make in boxing. You admitted to having no skill. You just told everybody you're a one-dimensional fighter.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
But
right.
you also, let me play devil's advocate, maybe he's admitting to that. I mean, maybe he just, because we say we want the fighters to be honest, well, maybe that's his way of saying, you know what? If he's being honest, Big Cool, and if he's being honest about it, then he needs to accept the criticism that's going to come with it. Yeah, I agree with that.
We want the fighters to be honest, but we don't want them to fuck up their marketability.
Right.
but I don't think.
I know I'm a champion, but I'm a scrub at the same time. I mean, what the fuck does that do?
I mean,
I heard scrub in a minute.
That was a stupid ass comment.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
comes out of that comment.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I definitely.
It was
think,
bad.
I won't say. I don't want to put words in his mouth or take words out of him. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think he misspoke in a way. I guess he was. Yeah, I think he was trying to put it out there that heavyweights had that equalizer, more or less, and he kept going on into something else. That,
somebody should have told him to just shut up.
Yeah, like to shut up. After that one. So but we gonna continue on with Deontay Wilder. I actually came across something else earlier in the week that I thought was pretty interesting, as far as Deontay it seems like, in the past he has been asking for these bigger fights, or at least he's been portraying that in the media, you know what I'm saying, through Twitter, different articles, he's constantly mentioning other heavyweights, fighting them, but nobody's ever really mentioning fighting them, as far as, Parker, of course he shut that down after a week or so of those talks being there. Joshua hasn't necessarily said anything about him. So, I mean, let me get you guys' thoughts on that as far as why the other heavyweights aren't necessarily quick to want to unify, or that they want to pursue other options prior to Deontay. And why Deontay's not getting bigger fights. It seems like he's been calling out for him. So what is it that's not happening in both cases? Who wants to start out on this one?
I mean, Joshua don't need to call him out. I mean, Joshua, he a hotbed in the UK. I mean, we want to see that fight. That fight need to happen. But I mean, if Joshua don't, feel enticed to, call him out and try to make the fight happen, he can fight, like what 2K was saying earlier, with the Canelo effect. He can fight Gerald Miller and still make a nice payday, and the UK fans are going to come out and support him. Wilder doesn't have that support, so he doesn't have anybody pushing really for that fight. And nobody believe in him. Like, then you making statements like you don't need skills to be great or whatever the hell he said, and you got a combination of people who don't believe you're a great fighter or a good fighter for that. They think you're just a one-trick pony with just the power, and people don't support that. So, and he never really gave us a reason or other people a reason to say, okay, I really, really, really want to see this fight happen, because his competition hasn't been good, man. It hasn't been good, to be honest, and he really hasn't really tried to pursue any big fights other than the champion, even like a Brian Jennings, for instance. He could have tried to make that fight happen a few years ago. I mean, you don't got to always fight champions right off the bat to get respect from fans and other fighters. You can fight top contenders until those unification bouts present themselves, but he hasn't even been fighting those guys. So, I mean, I think he brought on himself to a certain extent. I don't think Parker wants to fight him, but I don't think Joshua has a problem fighting him. And Fury has called him out, so I don't think nobody's scared of him. I just think they making big money where they at, so I guess they want him to get on that level financially to make it as big as possible. Then they'll entertain a unification bout with him.
All right. Anybody else want to get in on this one? 2K.
I don't see the big deal. First of all, he's making it seem like the reason why he's defended his title 5 times against C-level fighters is because nobody's calling him out. And that's, I mean, who fucking cares, dog? Your legacy is not defined on who calls you out. Okay, the reason why I fought the best heavyweight out there is because he called me out. That's why that name's on my legacy. That's what's up. That's not how the fuck it works. Actually, motherfuckers that actually got their legacy, remembered and written and etched in stone in the history of boxing are motherfuckers that went out and seeked fights. Floyd Mayweather seeked Gennaro Hernandez. He seeked Diego Corrales. He seeked Arturo Gatti. Muhammad Ali seeked Sonny Liston twice. He seeked Joe Frazier. He seeked George Foreman. Okay? They didn't just stand there and be like, shit, ain't nobody calling me out, so I'm about to fight Tom Cruise next until a nigga call me out. That's not how the fuck it works. So his comment is stupid as fuck. Again, he's saying something stupid. I ain't trying to dish you, Big Cole, but y'all Alabama niggas need to stop talking, dog. For real. They need to go down there, get a goddamn spokesman. They don't need to speak for themselves. No more. Alabama niggas don't talk no more.
No, Wilder don't speak no more.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a case Wilder's trying to sell himself to the people, man, and I mean it's definitely coming across.
Wilder putting us in a bad spot, man.
Yeah.
He putting us in a bad spot.
Yeah, it's definitely coming across bad for us right now, man.
Yeah. So here's the one thing that all of you all are missing. 2K mentioned that Muhammad Ali seeked Frazier. Well, here's something. Guys sought Muhammad Ali because he established himself as being the fucking man of that division. Same thing with Floyd. Guys sought out Floyd. Once Floyd did what he did, they sought out Floyd because Floyd established himself as being the man in that division. Yeah. So the thing with Wilder is what he got to understand is, and this is why I say, if Wilder right now announces, fuck it, I'm giving Stavern $3 million, I'm looking at Luis Ortiz. You know how many motherfuckers will probably be like, damn, about time. He will get credit, especially if he makes the fight, he will get total credit for that. But when you're fighting, because we was talking about this with Golovkin. People talking with Golovkin, but Golovkin, he's fighting his mandatory. He's fighting the number one guys and the number two guys. Regardless of who he's fighting, at least he's fighting the guys that's like, up in the top 5 echelon. Okay, Wilder, even if you want to say he's struggling, but I can't look at you fighting 5 times and the guys you're fighting are guys who you should have already beat, even if you're struggling against them. So who's going to seek to fight you when there's no money in fighting you because you haven't established yourself as being the man? Anthony Joshua beating Vladimir Klitschko in the eyes of a lot of people, whether we like it or not, established himself as being the fucking man. Especially in a war that he was in, he established himself as being the fucking man. Okay? So Wilder, although, and I admit, was Wilder looking at Klitschko? Yeah, he called Fury. But you got to do more than call him out. You got to do something to get people to say, like, if he fights and he beats Luis Ortiz, people will be like, yo, man, we want to see him in unification, man. We want to see him do more. Like, just like what we doing with like when Tyson was coming up. When Tyson won that first fight, I'm like, okay, well, we want to see him get the next one, and the next one, and the next one. He has to establish himself as being that guy that even if people don't want to get behind, we'll say, yo, whether we like him or don't like him, he's established himself as being the man or trying to be the man in the division. He's made no move toward that. Floyd did. Ali did. Oscar did. Felix Trinidad did. Bernard Hopkins did. That's what I'm right. Exactly. But
everybody did that.
Right. That's why I'm saying, like, the worst thing what Deontay Wilder did was, and I said this, he had 4 title defenses in 1 year, and they were C-level dudes. Now look at Joshua. Joshua beats Martin. He fights Brazzelli, Molina, and goes straight to fucking Klitschko. Come on, man. I mean, that's something like I said.
19 fights.
Take a do Hopkins out and throw in Luis Ortiz. Motherfuckers have nothing to say. And that's what he needs to stop trying to let these belts work shit out, or stop trying to sit back and hope somebody, look at me. No, bro, no. Stop that bomb squad. Stop all that shit. Walk into a press conference on the motherfucker. Welcome to Joseph Parker's press conference.
All he needs to do is he needs to tell Heyman or Lou Bella, go negotiate the fight. That's what he needs to do. You don't need to do that rah-rah bullshit.
No, here's the thing he needs to do. We're going to piggyback on something I said months ago. If he's not getting the love from the American fans like he should, he should take his ass to the UK and fight one Cesar or Dillian Whyte. I understand that ain't the biggest fight in the world, but if you want to get somebody to get your name out there, do that on enemy's territory, which is Joshua. Call Joshua out in UK. Say, yo, I want you next here in Wembley Stadium in front of 90,000 people. Put your belts up against my ass. I took out one of your UK fighters. Do that.
He gonna probably fight, but they say he might fight Tony Bellew over in the UK. I mean, shit, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, don't shoot the. I don't like the fight either. I don't like the fight either, but I'm saying that's what I heard. I don't like the fight either, but.
No, you're right, and that's the shit that I'm talking about. And to Bo's point, I agree with him to an extent at his first point. That nigga long-winded, so I gotta go all the way back to the beginning of this nigga's fucking statement. the beginning of his goddamn comment, you know, he stated you gotta, you know, Floyd and Muhammad Ali made themselves men of the division. That wasn't until after they seeked out the right fight to become the men of the division. You still have to go seek the right type of fighter or the man of that time to become the man, right? Deontay Wilder's not doing either. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he said nobody called him out. Luis Ortiz called his fucking ass out. Yeah, Luis Ortiz been called this nigga out so many goddamn times, nigga, it's ridiculous. I'm starting to think this shit is synonymous. Whenever Luis Ortiz talks, I'm thinking the nigga about to say something about Deontay Wilder now. You see what I'm saying? And plus also to Bernard's point, if American people are not going to back him like the way they back Gennady Golovkin, I mean, these two guys are virtually identical, right, as far as, I'm not talking about fighting style, I'm talking about what they do in the ring and how they appease the fans. Golovkin goes in there and knocks motherfuckers out. Deontay Wilder goes in there and knocks motherfuckers out. Actually, Deontay Wilder has closer fights and then knocks them the fuck out, which actually should be more appealing to the fans, but it's not for we know why, right? But anyway, if that's the case, then I agree 100% with Bernard. Like he said, go to the UK, fight Dillian Whyte, hell, fight Derek Chisora. Yes, we're going to talk shit, but at the same time, we understand why you're taking those fights. Instead of just waiting there for whack-ass niggas that everybody knows you're going to fucking beat here on American soil and nobody's actually supporting you. So it's a situation where, again, like I said, Deontay Wilder needs to stop talking. Vladimir Klitschko should have been his fight. The fact that Anthony Joshua went in there and fought Vladimir Klitschko with 18 fights, which made his 19th fight that win, that right there, he pretty much shitted on everything Deontay Wilder has done in 38 fights. He shitted on everything. I mean, he got to the point where a nigga with 20 less fights than you is looking down at you now, nigga. Like, hey, bro, you're going to have to get to my level. That shit is hilarious to me. And I enjoy watching that because it's Deontay Wilder's fault. He should have beat the opponent instead of sitting there waiting. What the fuck does that mean? What, nigga, C-level fighters? No, nigga? Get the fuck out of here. So it gets to the point where whenever this nigga runs his mouth, I start to not back him, dog. Bottom line, stop running your mouth. Fuck a bomb squad, nigga, because it ain't worth a shit right now. Go out there, get these big fights, and knock these niggas out. Then say bomb squad. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm always support Wilder, but it's time for him to step up, man, because it's getting harder and harder to defend it. And, you know, like 2K said, every time he opens his mouth, he calling people out or calling Joshua or whoever, but there's no substance behind it. He's not making plans to, you know, get a step closer to that fight, because holding the title don't mean nothing if, you know, those other guys don't have to fight you. And right now they don't have to fight them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's simple as that. All Joshua had to do is tell her, you know, get somebody to enforce a damn mandatory if you don't want to fight Wilder. You know what I'm saying? And same with Joseph Parker. So, I mean, he's going to have to make them guys want to fight him. Like, I don't know, man. Hopefully he make Alabama proud and fight somebody, you know, worth something. So,
do you think this should be in the hostage of being the WBC belt holder as well? Like, thinking people have to actually come to him because he holds what Bo would call the most prestigious belt in boxing. You know what I'm saying?
There definitely is a lot of prestige behind a WBC belt.
He babysitting that belt.
But we have seen it with a lot of people. Like I say, we even see it with Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants people to come to him. You know, he got the WBC.
But you gotta give something. You gotta give something to get something, man. You gotta give something to get something.
Yeah. Okay.
Why you skip that motherfucker on the Q divisions lower? Adonis Chicken send that nigga waiting on motherfuckers to come in too. This nigga went almost down to 126. No, goddamn well.
Now hold on, wait a minute. In Adonis Stevens' defense, he did try to fight Joe Smith. No, hold on. I mean Alvarez. No, wait a minute. Monahan. No, my bad. He recycled the fight with some fine. That's right.
Rematch, right? Yeah.
Okay.
But y'all said that's a good fight.
And he's trying to rap. And he's trying to be a rapper. So.
Oh my God, man!
Got them lyrics.
Terrible, man.
Hey, as long as Adonis is in the game, he gonna make Wilder look like he's trying to fight these guys. So, I mean, Wilder can thank Adonis for that shit.
No, y'all gonna stop hating on Adonis, man. Leave Adonis alone.
Nah, that nigga is.
Man, hey, Quan, you gotta defend one. You gotta defend one dark skinned nigga. It's either Wilder or Stevens. You can't defend both of them.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that nigga Twan is prejudiced, nigga, to niggas lighter than them. You don't like niggas lighter than Adonis and Beyonce, nigga.
Yeah, he named Beyonce, Adonis, and Gary Russell all dark skinned niggas. He said, "Fuck all y'all straight looking motherfuckers."
Twan definitely got to get some dark skin. He definitely got to get some light skin, motherfucker.
But he
Adonis Stevens don't Michael Jackson his skin, and Bud Twan's heart.
Man.
Hey, look, Twan over there sweating because he's like, damn, both my guys just making me fucking look bad. Like,
hell yeah.
As you guys see, it's a constant struggle with these guys, and you know I'm always constantly having to defend them with these fellas. You see what I go through? This is all the time. It's not. This is a constant thing. I'm always harassed by this. You know, even in the groups now. Paul Snyder's ass. They always fucking with me about this stuff. So
He's being harassed.
I'm being harassed. Yeah.
Verbally assaulted, huh?
Just drop Adonis, man. And all you have to do is defend one person, man. That's it. You taking on too much.
I suggest you throw Stevenson under the bus, man.
Yeah. I'll definitely contemplate it, man. But we gonna go into our next segment, which is Bernard's thing. He likes to do, the Fuckery of Boxing Award. You got anything special for us this week on this one?
I mean, I was trying to have the award stick to media, but after last night, man, I'm giving it to Chavez Jr. I mean, Julio Cesar Salad, excuse me, for that performance. Huh?
Oh, none.
No, for the performance he put on last night. I really didn't mind. After looking at that fight, I think he threw the fight.
Agreed.
I really think you cannot sit there and tell me Canelo was on the road. If you're going to at least do it, make it a fight. Make it a fight at least, but damn. You had Canelo on the ropes, you threw 3 punches, that motherfucker did a 6-piece combo. Like, damn. Get it back on the ropes again, you just pity pat the jab out there. Boom, you hit inside your head, you like, you start backing up. Hell, 2K pointed out, I didn't even notice that, I had to look back. He started backing up in the first round. What the fuck? What the fuck? Your jab's fucking weak. I mean, you throw some shit out there. Canelo goes to the right, come over with his right hand, straight right. Boom! I'm like, man, if you're going to throw the fight, make it at least competitive. Damn, man, shit. Make it a fight. Then you was doing a little, try to do the phone booth shit. You didn't throw no punches in it. Coming in with your head, with your guard, or with the high guard. I was like, that was straight bullshit. So the Fuckboy Award goes to Julio.
Hey, Bernard, you don't deserve to have his name pronounced.
The casual.
Yeah, Julio.
Yeah, hold on. I might as well roll with it. Julio Cesar Salad, a.k.a. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. For that fucking...
That motherfucker Chavez felt like he was full. That motherfucker
Hey, hold on. And another thing, he threw his coach under the bus. Man, if I was...
let me get you guys' thoughts on this as far as him actually spilling, saying he didn't have the feeling he had the energy or the power to throw anything. I don't know. I figure if you make weight, you're good. You have that overnight rehydration, you should be good. But I'll get you guys' thoughts on that 2K, Bo. You guys are actually we're at saying Emmys. You know what I'm saying? So you guys could better give us an assessment as far as that. Having to make weight and your feeling as far as energy wise in the ring immediately after.
I don't want to hear that because you agreed to that weight, so you know what your limits are. Remember he was having trouble making 168, so you know what your limits are and you didn't do it. Let me tell you something. Your natural weight is your natural weight. Being 6'1", 175, I maintain my natural weight. Chavez got to learn how to he went outside his natural weight.
Here we go again. Where's my mute button? All that come to that nigga on that shit.
Oh man.
Nah, 2K, I wanted to get your thoughts on that as well, though. Him saying he didn't feel like he had any, energy or power to throw anything when he even had Canelo on the ropes. Do you think it was a thing of him agreeing to the weight, or is it just bullshit excuse?
I disagree. And I'm gonna reserve a little bit of what I'm gonna say because my final blow is gonna have a lot about what happened in the fight in it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say one thing though. He didn't have Canelo on the ropes. Canelo put himself on the ropes. There's a difference.
Oh, excuse me, 2K. I apologize about that, session.
No, you good. But there's a difference because if he got him on the ropes, that means he actually did something to put Canelo there, right? That's not what happened. Canelo was fucking with him like, hey, I'm on the ropes, nigga, do something. There's a difference there, and I'll go into that in my fumble.
All right. Y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, so I guess we gonna go into we got the U.O.E.N.O segment, U.O.E.N.O segment of the week. I'm actually happy about this one, man. That we landed on this date because I get to talk about probably one of the best televised cards I ever seen, man. Back in the day of Don King cards, you know what I'm saying? TVKO days. On this day, in 1994, we had the card where Gerald McClellan knocked out Julian Jackson in the first round to retain his WBC middleweight belt. I think it was their rematch, actually, after he had sparked him out the first time. So this was actually their rematch, and he took him out in the first round. We also had Terry Norris, hometown. What's good with your film? He beat Simon Brown in the rematch in Las Vegas to regain his WBC super welterweight title. We also had Julio Cesar Chavez beating Frankie Randall by technical decision after a cut happened in the fight.
Another fight that happened on that night, Jesse James Leija beat one of my favorite fighters, legend Azumah Nelson, Professor. That was the rematch they had actually had after a draw. They previously fought in. Jesse James took the rematch. They were later going to have a rubber match, a trilogy in which Azumah Nelson ended up knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? So that was it was definitely a good day for boxing, man. May 7th in the past. We also had one of the best fights in history. You know, Diego Corrales knocking out Jose Luis Castillo in their back and forth bout to win the world lightweight title, and that was in 2005, man. So May 7th's definitely been good to us in boxing. That said, we're going to go into the final blow. 2K, take it away, man.
All right, so basically, I want to talk to boxers about having good discernment. And for you dumb niggas out there, discernment means the ability to judge well. You know what I'm saying? You know, the problem that we see today with the business side actually overtaking what fans want out of these fighters is because the discernment of the fan, you know, the gullibleness, the ability to not ask questions, to not do the proper research, to lean on the what's best for them by the promoters or the business side of boxing. That is a direct effect into why we see these gross mismatches like we saw this fucking weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, you got Chavez Jr. versus Canelo. And like I said in my last video that I just put up, it was a pure money grab from day one. If you know anything about boxing, it's easy to understand that Canelo, who's been marketed as a 154-pound fighter, who De La Hoya marketed as a guy that is not ready for middleweight previously, right? Jumps up 2 weight classes into the super middleweight division at 164.5 pounds, only 3.5 pounds away from the actual limit at 168, and fights a guy who just happens to be from Mexico with a legend's last name. That is clear to me as a boxing enthusiast, as a pundit, that's a fucking money grab. And I'll quote Teddy Atlas. He said the same fucking thing. This was just a money grab for Golden Boy so they could basically have the upper hand in the negotiations for a Triple G fight in September. That's pretty much what he said to summarize what he said to wrap this fight up. You know what I'm saying? But this is something that I've been saying for months, since January, okay? And you got these diehard fans, which is good to love boxing, but at the same time, you got to have good discernment when bullshit is being put in your face. You got to understand that, hey, this is obviously some bullshit, so I'm not going to fucking follow it. You know, another example would be James Kirkland versus Miguel Cotto. You had a bunch of Puerto Rican fans actually saying that was a great fight, knowing goddamn well that James Kirkland has been out of the motherfucking contender fray since, 2011? You see what I'm saying? Then he got knocked out by Canelo Alvarez after a 2-year layoff, and I think that was his last fucking fight.
Yeah.
So just because James Kirkland once had a name does not mean it's a good fight because he's fighting your favorite fighter, okay? It's all about good discernment and not having your emotions judge, what's actually happening in reality. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why a lot of people are mad about this Saturday's fight is because they really bought into the hype. You know what I'm saying? And it's mainly Canelo fans. It's mainly Mexican, or just diehard Canelo fans in general. They bought into the hype. I think T-Mobile Arena was sold out for this fight.
20,000 plus.
Yeah, 20,000 plus for a fight against a guy who hasn't done anything realistically since Andy Lee, who's never really taken boxing seriously, right? Who's shown that he's not an A-list fighter and he's barely a B-list fighter because just the fact that he just never has taken training seriously. He's never done anything in the ring that says he is an A-list fighter. when he had the opportunity to show that he's an A-list fighter against Sergio Martinez, he lost 11 straight rounds. You know what I'm saying? So why is an arena being sold out with a guy who of this caliber who is on the fucking main event card? It makes no sense. It's all about the undying loyalty of the Mexican fan base. And it's a message to all y'all out there, man. Golden Boy is going to continue to put the dick to you until you start to realize that Golden Boy is in it for the money. You see what I'm saying? This whole WWE thing, I'm seeing posts all over the place about Golovkin and Canelo. Straight WWE shit. Motherfuckers, all right, it's a dumb deal. Hold on, bro. You're just completely overlooking the fact that they told you there is no venue. It's not a done deal. Quit with the fucking loyalty and the dick riding and use your goddamn head and do some fucking research. It's not that hard. You want to become a boxing pundit, you got to do research. You got to know what's actually going on. They told you there's no venue. It's not a done deal. So stop making posts about it being a done deal. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, to wrap it up, we are going to continue to have a lot of bullshit-ass matchups like what we saw this weekend, especially dealing with Golden Boy, because they really only have two fighters, Canelo and Roman Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? And Roman Gonzalez is getting to the point where, hey, you got to start paying me them ducats or else. Nigga, I'm not going to be fighting these motherfuckers to get my ass whooped, and I'm only, taking home $100K, $300K. You have to give up them ducats. So he's getting to the point where he may even fade off one day unless Oscar De La Hoya comes up with that money. So in reality, he's got one cash cow, and that's Canelo. So you have to understand that he's going to protect that cash cow under any fucking circumstance, okay? So we just have to have better discernment as fans. Whenever something happens that looks suspicious, we have to call it out. We have to question it. We got to get in the media's face like, hey, hold on. Why the fuck did this happen? Why is this going on? This is a better situation. Why are y'all not trying to do that? And if they, they try to say, hey, you can never come back to another fight for us, then fuck it then. There's other motherfuckers that are actually entities in the sport that will give you credentials and allow you to report shit the way you want it to be reported. All right? So we got to have better discernment. We got to petition to have these fights the way we want to have them and when we want to have them, because one thing fans forget, without us, there is no boxing. Unless fans are actually back in the sport, there's no money to be made. There are no fights to be put together. So it starts with us, and we need to start acting like it.
All right, big up on that one. Definitely a good way to end it up. Yeah, definitely a good final blow. Definitely a lot of info to put out there. Hopefully people take heed to that, pay attention, because there's definitely a lot of important shit said in it. You know what I'm saying? With that said, you know what I'm saying, we going to conclude our broadcast for the night, man. I'm going to let everybody give out their handles and do their outros on their own. Starting with Big Cool. Where can they find you?
Colossal Boxing Talk, man. Follow us on Twitter, Colossal CBT. Catch me on the Movement. Catch me on 2K Show. Catch me on Bo and Bernard Show. Just catch me everywhere. So that's it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Bo and Bernard. I also like to call them CC for the Chicago co-signers, because that's all they seem to be fucking doing all the time, is co-signing each other. But where can they find y'all at, man?
You sound jealous because ain't nobody co-signed a don't-ass chicken thing. Don't get mad, G. Don't get mad, man. Somebody reach out to you and tell you, Twan, we got your back. They'll grab an axe and the chicken and make a sacrifice for you. But you can find Truth and Facts About Boxing. Follow us on Twitter at capital T for Truth _ capital F for Factbox1. Same thing, Instagram, Truth _ Factbox1. Follow us on the Bag of Boxing, pound for pound. And, right here on the Movement, wherever they talk boxing, man, you'll find us at.
You can find me controlling the Movement Instagram at DAMUVMENTBP. And also you can catch me controlling the Movement's Twitter page at The Movement Boxing. You can catch me in the Facebook group, such as our Facebook group, the Müvment Boxing page, as well as We Eat, Live, Sleep Boxing, SSS Boxing, talking boxing and bullshit, and all other rules, man. So the realest casual of the game is there. And again, shout out to the IBO and stop unification block.
The IBO.
Oh, man.
Okay to God. Where can they find you, man?
Hey, man, it's your boy 2K to God. You can find me on the Guys of Boxing Talk, the most controversial show on YouTube. Also, you can catch me on all of these guys' respective channels that they've already presented to you guys. You can catch me on Twitter at Boxing Guys. It's going to be a capital B and a capital G. You can catch me on here, of course, the Müvment Boxing Podcast, also the Facebook group, the Müvment Boxing. And you can catch me all around, man. Facebook profile is EJ Will. I'm talking shit to a lot of motherfuckers out there in different social media spots, so you'll know who it is when you see "Get the fuck out of there" in my handle.
Alright, and of course I'm Twine the Divine Liberty of foodjab.com, RockyMountainBoxing.com, also I guess boxing scene occasionally. You can catch me here on the Müvment Boxing Cast every Sunday, also Night at the Round Table, which we do midweek. I'm in all the Facebook groups, Die Hard Boxing, Championship Rounds, we Live, Sleep, Eat Boxing, Eastwick Boxing, big up to Wilson. Real Talk Boxing, Scott Knight's little inbox. Shout out to them. The Müvment, our page as well. Pretty much all of them, man. Ring IQ, shout out to y'all as well. You catch us all in there talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
And you can catch him at the Donna Stevenson fan page.
Actually, chiming in.
Ain't too late to mute that motherfucker.
No, I actually had a question I wanted to ask Bernard, but I'll ask about the show. That's it, man. You guys can catch us next Sunday, man. Big up and thanks for the support, y'all. Peace.